Hey guys, welcome to another Legacy Enchantress video. This is Spatula of the Ages. I'm going to be playing Witch House again today. I've been playing this for close to a year now. More like 9 months, I guess. It's a Live and Wish focused version of Enchantress. Like back in the day when I played more, I developed Solitaire. The version of Enchantress that is on like getting solitary confinement online as like a de facto win condition. Um, But like then in the DRS meta, it just didn't seem to be as strong. Like Leovold and like Deathrite Shaman, like Emrakul being sneak attack. Like there were a lot of things that like just didn't care as much about solitary confinement. So I moved towards this version, which I think is pretty strong. Living Wish gives you access to a lot of things. It does come at the cost of sideboard space, and Living Wish itself can be a little expensive depending on what you're getting. But yeah, so the list is what I've been running, which is like Sprawls, Growth, Abundant Growth, full suite of Elephant Grass. Elephant Grass like is one of the strongest cards in the deck. It just really buys you a lot of time against most of the aggressive decks out there, and like it also happens to beat some like random things like Dark Depths, especially because Merit Lage is a black token. It even beats up Batter Skull, which is also a black token. One copy of Ground Seal. I'd like to have two, but there's not really space for it right now. But Ground Seal is pretty strong now, even with Deathrite gone. There's a lot of Snapcaster and Life from the Loam around. I'd like to have two, but Guy's Touch for additional gas. Like with the 8 enchantments, like you still need additional gas. Like sometimes for starting off, but a lot of it is for like when you've got one Enchantress down and you need to start like cycling and setting up mana. One main deck Seal Primordium right now. It does seem to be a good metagame for it. Obviously, it's dead against like Canadian Threshold, but against a lot of decks it does stuff like killing counterbalances, sneak attack, omniscience, Trinisphere, Chalice of the Void, etc. Just one main deck Solitary Confinement, second one in the board for the really aggressive decks and like the X Stompy decks that don't really have an answer for it. And mainly I guess that's Dragon Stompy, since like Eldrazi does actually have all his dust. Two O-Ring effects, one main deck Doomwhack Giant, one in the sideboard, so you can get basically like 5 copies of it without killing your curve. One main deck Replenish. This is honestly just sort of like there, so like you can like luck out games. Like it's just a Savage top deck, and it works really well with Doomwhack Giant and Eidolon of Blossoms. Let's see. So for the sideboard today. Choke, Seal Primordium, Solitary Confinement, the usual suspects. The main wish targets are always going to be like Karakas, Argothian, Doomwhack Giant, then like Emrakul when you're ready to win. Then you've also got Rexage and Wickerbow Elder. And you've got 2 of them so that you can bring one in game 2 as a Green Sun Zenith target against the decks that do have a lot of targets for those. Gaddock Teague, your main like anti-storm plan, is Gaddock Teague also good against like Miracles and Dragon Stompy. Friction Revoker, like just kind of a Swiss Army knife, good in lots of different situations. Do not get him against Grixis Control, or you will be blown out by a call against command. Spore Frog for when you just need to buy a turn. The deck can be a little slow. Like I'd cut this guy for a while, but I think the deck can be kind of slow. So like if you can Living Wish and buy a turn, sometimes that'll save you. Ages of the Gods is like he serves 2 functions. He's an enchantment, so you can draw cards off him, which sometimes you need to like just wish to keep drawing cards. His ability is also useful, and it's another out against Storm, also against like discard and like sacrifice effects as well. This is the one thing I'm trying different today. I'm trying to Heliod in the space that was occupied by Kamal, Fist of Krosa. So like it does a few things different. Like I liked Kamal because it turned on Green Sun Zenith. Like it made it a very active threat against control decks game 2. Heliod does something different. Like as a wish target, he draws you cards because he's an enchantment. Theoretically, he's a lot harder to kill. Like you're almost never going to have the Devotion to White, which is mostly good. Like you probably don't want Devotion to White. In fact, the only way you could have it is if you had like Confinement and both Oblivion Reigns and like an Aegis of the Gods or Guttic Teague. So it's very unlikely that you'll ever have Devotion. So he'll dodge like Disenchant, Swords to Plowshares, pretty much every removal spell. I guess maybe like he still can get hit by like Teferi or Unexpectedly Absent. But that's about it. Oh, Council's Judgment too. But he dodges pretty much everything else, and if you have mana, especially like even like a Sanctum against the control decks, which usually they don't run Wasteland, like you can just like keep generating threats. I also like that the tokens he makes are enchantments, so they trigger Doomwave Giant and Eidolon if you have either of those out. So I'm trying him out. I think game 2 against control decks, I'll still bring him in, even though I can't Korean Sun Zenith for him. He is another threat that I can draw into, and I think you do want to have like a secondary threat. I think I'd rather have Doomwake as a witch target because like if they do have an aggressive hand with monks, I want like, especially because I side out Confinement, I want like access to protection if I need it, if they're like going aggro. So that's what we're running today. Let's try it out and see what we get. Yesterday I kept running into Black Rider Animator. I hope that doesn't happen today. Still don't have any real way of winning that matchup. Which, you know, I don't know. I still don't think it makes sense to try to fight it. Like, not in this build anyway. The amount of spots you need to beat them it's too many. This hand is alright. He mulliganed, which is like often a sign that they're on like X Stompy, which means maybe he's taking for a Chalice for 1. It's not the end of the world if he does have it. Like, it slows me down. But unless he also has the pressure, I can still play my Enchantress turn 3. I think you keep it. It's not a great hand, obviously. But, like, and then, okay, well, that's the 5. Okay. Wasteland go. So it is probably some kind of Stompy deck, I would say. So I'm still going to lead off here with the Wild Growth since he didn't go turn 1 Chalice. So it's probably Eldrazi Stompy, I think, maybe? I don't know what other deck would like mulligan that much and play Wasteland, but I mean it could just be on like Canadian Threshold and it had no lands. Or something. Okay. Well, I guess he has the advantage of knowing what I'm on now, since Wild Growth's a pretty dead giveaway. So obviously I don't know what he's on. He could, I guess, be on Death and Taxes also and just not have had any white mana. Or like maybe like he had all land hands. So I don't know, but like, is there a deck, I guess, that plays Wasteland that Wickerbow Elder wouldn't be good against? I guess, like, even if he is on Canadian Threshold, he probably brought in Winter Orb. So I might want that as a wish target, but I don't necessarily know what I would take out. Because if he's on Stompy or Death and Taxes, I want my O-Rain effects. I guess Gaia's Touch is the most expendable card. Well, if I'm on the draw, I guess Miri's Guile is probably just not great anyway, like no matter what he's on. Like Guile, like, because it's probably a fast deck or else he wouldn't be running Wasteland. Like, Guile is good against control decks regardless, but against like faster decks, it's not very good on the draw. Like, you need to accelerate. Like, and you can't like afford to skip your turn 1 Wild Growth to play Mirror's Guile. And then like if you play it like later on, it's a little late to start doing it. It's like not the worst, but it's a little expendable, I think, when you're on the draw. I guess that's what I do. I don't know. I have no idea what he's on, obviously. So, but I did get a free game, so can't complain too much. So multiple Enchantresses. Obviously, I'm gonna fetch a Forest unless he goes turn 1. Man, if he goes turn 1 Chalice, though, I'm kind of in trouble unless I draw another land, because my Sanctum won't be generating any mana. But I don't know if I can mulligan for that reason, not being sure that he's even on Chalice, much less turn 1 Chalice. Alright. Upkeep effects? Oh man, is he gonna stifle me? Fuck. I'm really dead to stifle. Yeah, I'm really dead to stifle. I think I need to actually pass. Yeah, he's running fucking Canadian. Okay. Well, there's certainly no point in fetching now. Right? Is there? I mean, okay, I think I gotta go for it. If he's got the staple, this is gonna be a quick game. And there it is. Okay. Still play the Sanctum. If he wastelands it, it doesn't really matter. I need to draw a land ASAP. I hope he doesn't flip. It is blind, so there's a reasonable chance. No, there it is. Alright. So I think I mentioned in the like Enchantress Discord, like I only run 4 fetches, and like I'm probably just gonna randomly lose to Stifle. Like other lists are running like 6 or 8. I've seen. Like it just seems poor given that there's so much Canadian threshold around. This game is probably over. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Like, yeah, he like would have set that up for Ponder, so I'm taking 6 next turn. There's just nothing I can do here. And he's probably gonna like, even if I drew a forest, he would daze or spell pierce my wild growth. Like, he could even force to will it, and it would be a good call at that point. So if I'm on the play against Canadian Threshold, I'm gonna take out 2 Living Wishes. They're a little slow against him. I'm gonna take out Cast Out. Bring in Confinement, bring in Chokes. I think Wicker Bow's actually less preferable to, well, I think actually Seal of Primordium becomes Grixis, just because like with Green Sun Zenith you have more access to it when you need it, and it can jump block. And my enchantment count's okay. On the play, I could either play Guile, which again, I don't know if it's necessarily right, but or I can play Aegis of the Gods. Like Aegis of the Gods, pretty much like it's like a stalling card. You would either like block with it, or it would like soak up a lightning bolt. Either one's actually like okay, like as long as it's also drawing cards. I think I'll play the Guile or the Aegis. So I took out Cast Out because like it's vulnerable to Stifle. Like if you spend 4 mana and just get Stifle, you're fucked. It's also like really easy to spell Pierce it or Daze it. Yeah. Alright, so this hand has Acceleration. It's a little weak to a Wasteland, but I do have Living Wish. Elephant Grass is really good here. Aegis like isn't bad either. It's not an amazing hand, but I think I need to keep it. Because like I do need the acceleration for one, and I need an elephant grass. So I hope I draw an Enchantress. That's important. I think I actually named green here, and I'll name white with the second one. So you're going to force a will it. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's not too bad for us. He lost 2 of his disruption spells, and he'd already mulliganed. He's got the goose. Alright, so given that we just drew Zenith, I think that what we do here is just Aegis of the Gods, and I'll trade it for a goose if he attacks. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, over time, it's going to save more life than eating a lightning bolt. And if he bolts it, then it, it still saves 3 life. And he's down on cards, so... yeah, that's it. Let's trade. Okay, Winter Orb's annoying, but like I said, we kind of expected it, and we do have a wild growth effect, so we can actually function a little better than he can under. So I'm going to go for it. He could have Daze, but I think he would have dazed the Aegis. So like against them post board, you also want to like stack up on the same land because of Winter Orb, so that way you can like function better. But like he doesn't have any pressure, even though like Winter Orb's annoying. Like he wouldn't be able to play a Tarmogoyf. If you could play a Delver would be the most annoying thing, but like Goose is kind of far from triggering still. Okay, so it stops Green Sun Zenith if I draw another one, but I can always just I could Living Wish for Wickerbow Elder. Untap this again. If I draw a land, I can cast it that turn. But I guess I don't want to. Yeah, probably. Bum, bum, bum. I could. What do I want to? I think I do want to wish. I actually have like all the time in the world. We're on game 3, and we've each got like 20 minutes left because the first 2 were very quick. Well, I'm worried about him playing a threat. Really, I guess is the thing. Now I've got grass. But it's hard to keep that up with Winter Orb. So I guess I do need to get rid of the Winter Orb first. He's down to 1 card. So yeah, I guess I wish for Wickerbow. Since like Winter Orb does shut down my ability to Green Sun or Grafdigger's Cage with Winter's Orb means I can't Green Sun Zenith for an answer. He doesn't have like any discard, not being on black, so I'm not worried about like losing any of my cards in hand. So like I don't need to like rush out the Elephant Grass, and he doesn't have a threat right now. And like I said, once it does come down, if Winter Orb is still there, it's going to be hard to maintain. So I think I need to answer Winter Orb first. And then, that's good. I'm gonna crack this fetch now, so I can't stifle it. The next turn I untap a forest, and at the end of his turn I'll destroy Winter Orb. Yeah, so he'll have a Delver on board. If it flips, which it probably will because he brainstormed, it'll be bad. I'm not casting the Wicker Bow now because he could just Lightning Bolt it. I don't have the mana to like use its ability. And I don't want to give him that out. Like, Lightning Bolt by itself is just a Lava Spike right now, because I'm at a pretty high life. Life from the Loam. Okay. He's running that version. I've seen a couple people play this version with Life from the Loam, which I think means that he's running shooting Mandrills over Tarmogoyf, which is actually like less scary. Like, Goyf can get bigger, especially with like enchantments and creatures in the yard. This one. Well, there's no point, I guess. Is there any point in not wild growthing first? Like, I guess it opens me to, we know he has a Life from the Loam. I guess it opens me to Spell Pierce. I guess once it's on board, I can just do that anyway and not be too concerned about it. If he does Daze it, that's okay, because it means the other card is Life from the Loam, so he has to top deck a Lightning Bolt. Which isn't all that likely. Would be annoying if it happens, though. I guess he has some ability to dig for it, because he'll have Volk and a Trap, so he could like still like Ponder or Brainstorm into a Lightning Bolt. That's fine. I lost black, but what is annoying is I can't Winter Orb during his turn without like passing up my ability to use all his stuff. So I think, well, I mean, there's no reason not to untap the big one. Okay, well now I have a land, so I can. Alright. I don't like going to 12 very much because it's divisible by 3, so like if he has to like go all the way with Delver, it's like losing a turn. But like I need to crack it now because he can't stifle now. I wish it hadn't have been a fetch. Like, in general, I'm not a fan of too many fetches in this deck because like it's a deck that often wins at a very low life total. Man, I could Presence and Grass and attack and like not immediately care about Winter Orb, like just destroy it next turn. Yeah, I think, by the way, that I will lead off with the Grass because resolving the Grass is more important than resolving the Presence. So you often do that against this deck. Like, it's super important to get your Grasses online, especially like his own Winter Orb in this case is hurting him. Okay, and I drew another Grass, so like I don't necessarily have to pay the upkeep. Yeah, like actually maybe like, oh, I forgot to attack though. That was dumb. That was free damage. It's not like it can block. And I'm giving him a chance to draw a Lightning Bolt. think he needs another land. Oh, he has it, right? Didn't he? He has a fetch land, yeah. Life from Loam and Wasteland. Well, I'm glad I left in the ground seals, right? Ground seal. It's probably wrong to put that wild growth on this forest instead of just on the other one, but I was thinking like that way I could cast the grass and still have that one open to end turn, destroy the Winter Orb. But now I'm not sure if I destroy the Winter Orb, because it's sort of like doing me a favor with grass. So maybe actually destroy the Craft Digger Cage? It was dumb to not attack last turn. I think I am going to destroy it on a turn, though, because I can have a pretty good turn. Next turn, I'll Argothian and then Grass. Draw a bunch of cards. I have Replenish, which I might want to get the Aegis in play, because I am getting to a low life here. And what I'm looking for is a choke. So that, yeah. Or a confinement. Or a confinement and a choke. So you always lead off by tapping the biggest land, the one that generates the most green mana especially, so that when you draw into wild growth, you can like play them on open lands. Triple grass. And there's a choke. And these guys' touches are just generated mana. I don't know if he would have been able to like set up his flips without that daze. Like if he pitched Brainstorm though. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is right to keep the daze. But like he didn't know that I was only going to have 2 lands. Like if I had a third land. When did I draw my third land? Like the daze becomes less important, especially like since he's on the draw. So I don't know. Where am I at? I guess I go ahead and whatever. I'll just keep going. Might as well look in Rush now. Got that Emrakul. let's see, he has no mana, there's no point, he can't do anything, right? But I might as well, I guess I might as well Banishing Light that then. But how many Enchantresses do I have? 3. I can go ahead and green some Zenith first, like, I'm just putting it back in the deck. So that, I don't deck myself. Right. It's hard to imagine what he could possibly do here. Like if I discard Emrakul, maybe Surgical Extractions. I don't have my ground seal out. So that's a possibility. I don't need these fetches. I don't need Enchantresses. I certainly don't need Eidolon. I don't need Abundant Growth. I don't need fetch. Or to see how I could beat a Caracas. I guess I could use a forest. I guess if he draws a Wasteland, he slows me down a turn. Can I still 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? No, I still cast it. Did I forget to attack again? Oh, it doesn't matter. No. No. Sure. It's 12. Alright, so that one is down. Oh, that's an iffy hand. I'm on the draw. So, man, like super vulnerable to Chalice, to this, not to Stifle. If I draw a second land, and I've got 2 turns to do it, which is what, 19 out of 53, and then 19 out of 52. And there's pretty high odds I draw a second land. If I don't, I could Living Wish or Caracas, worst case scenario. Or even depending on what he's on, I could like double up on a land if I think that's more efficient, depending on what he's got. It's not a great hand, but I think it's a little risky, but it's keepable. I mean, it does have most of the elements you want. It has acceleration, Enchantresses, and a land, but it does need that second land to really be solid. Now, if I don't draw the second land, assuming he doesn't like Chalice, I do have Living Wish and Seal of Primordium active. Okay, Underground Sea. Hard to know what that means. Alright, well, I'm looking. There's my, I doubt he's running Chalice, but, I'll still do this on white. Okay. Underground Sea Spell Pierce, so I don't think that's not Storm combo. And it's not, probably not Sneak and Show. maybe it's like Grixis Control or like just UB Control, or it could be, I guess, like Death Shadow or Grixis Delver, although he hasn't played a threat yet. Well, if it's Delver or Death Shadow, that was a good draw. I think maybe I do get the Caracas. It might not be relevant against what he's playing. But I'd like to make my land drop because then I can presence and grass. And I've got the other wish and the presence so that I don't necessarily mind using this one wish as a land, basically. Anyway, maybe I'll get lucky and he's on Sultai Control, and now I have the Caracas for his Leovold. Although you don't see much Sultai Control these days. Since the bannings. Still don't know what he's on. What are you on, mate? What if he is on... No, I can't be on Stormcap. I've never seen them play Spell Pierce. Ever. He's got to be on some kind of control. Maybe I hold off the... Like, if I draw a touch, I'd want the Forest, but if he's got Wasteland, I'd want to keep the Caracas. But that would not be probable if he's playing Control, and without Death Right around, there's very little reason for the Control decks to play Wasteland. And if he's on Delver, I think I've already won, because he should have played a threat by now. So, alright, let's just draw a card, I guess. Ground Seal is probably good, regardless of what he's on. Like, he's probably running Snapcasters if he's on some sort of control. What is he on? What are you on, mate? He could be on, like, anything. He could be on, like, Lurin. Or, I think without knowing what he's on, I want to actually, like, put these out in case he's, like, on a combo deck. That, like, these might disrupt. Rather than, like, getting the card with the Enchantress immediately. What are you on, mate? What are you doing? Alright, well, let the grass die. Just play the Argothian and grass again next turn. At this point, I seriously, like, he must be on Grixis Control, I guess. And have, like, nothing but lands in the hand for some reason. And kept it. I don't know. What is he on? Well, so, you know, I guess same kind of situation actually, where we have limited information going into sideboarding, but we know Choke comes in. That's for certain. It's hard to know whether Confinement comes out. Like, if he's on Grixis Control, it does. I think maybe one grass comes out. Like, it didn't seem like he was doing anything that grass would stop, like, you know, playing threats. And I guess when touch comes out, like, Guile should stay in, because he could easily just be on Grixis Control. Not too much else is expendable. Like, we don't know what he's on. Doom Light could be relevant, so could, like, Cast Out and Banishing Light. I guess that's the best we do with our limited information. If we do confirm that he's on Grixis Control, like, by him winning, like, probably Confinement goes out for Heliod. Wickerbow's not that good against Grixis Control. I don't think, like, they have many artifacts or enchantments really to hit. other than like Baleful Strix, which is obviously just a mediocre way of using your Elder. That might be the only change if he is on that. Well, Aegis could come in, but it's also fine as a wish target. Like, you might want it as like your secondary wish target after Argothian. Alright, so we got a turn to Enchantress with Ground Seal and Grass back up. If he's on control, it's kind of bad to have the confinement in hand. It's like we already kind of mulliganed. But the rest of it is keepable. Don't have any non-green mana, but we are going to see a few cards here, even if we lose the Zenith. Does Grixis Control play Fearden? I like how it's still called 4-color Leovold here. Even though they don't have the 4th color, and therefore Leovold. Oh, they do run Fearden, that's interesting. Overportent. Why is that? Huh. So I mean, that's probably what it is. So Grixis Control is a very positive matchup, but having said that, I'm probably jinxing myself. What's bad is if they get like a lot of early Hymn to Tarox, and then like you just don't top deck anything else. That's like the worst case scenario. So like one thing you can run in the board for these kind like black base disruption is you could like run an Obstinate Bailiff to wish for. Like it's good against Liliana and him, which are the cards that are the most painful for you. So if I how many Lilianas does he run? Just one? I'm assuming this is like something like his list. This doesn't tell me how many Lilianas they normally run. I think you still just... Oh, you could Ground Seal here to be safe, and that way next turn you Green Sun Zenith. And like Ground Seal is still good here. So maybe you do that. That way if he has an Edict, like which he probably has between Liliana, Edict, and what's it? The thing that kills things, you know. Do they not run it? Like the sorcery, you pay life. And, well, I might have Engineered Plague. Anyway, although you can Engineered Plague next turn anyway. But, what I was going to say is it's better, like, against, like, Edict and other disruption if you can, like, Argothian first with a mana open. Make sure you, like, aren't relying on, like, cracking a fetch, because that'll give priority back to them. And then, like, you can play an enchantment before they get a chance to kill it, so that way it at least cycles. And, like, you know... Wow, he's going to force a little Ground Seal. That's what I call card advantage. So, it was right to play that. He cared a lot about that. Maybe, like, he's just relying on Snapcasters in hand. Who knows? Well, if he does him here, I hope I gotta keep my Zenith. I'd also like to keep a Grass. Confinement can go. I don't care too much about that. So I guess we're gonna click. I guess we did put him on. Joke's on him. That is my only copy. It's a little ironic though. Oh, that's why he kept it, because he's got like surgical. Maybe he's got a Snapcaster and a surgical is why he did that. But like, that's fine, because he's like basically actually losing 3 cards now. Like, Force of Will and the Cardi Pitch and surgical to get rid of my Ground Seal. So that's pretty sick card advantage, to be honest. And like even if he's got a Snapcaster and like a Force of Will, and he's gonna like Surgical my Green Sun Zenith, that's okay too. Like I still have plenty of other threats in the deck if I can stop drawing lands. That is. I don't think he plays Wasteland, and he does play him, so I'd like to get some colored mana on the board while I can. I mean, like non-green mana. Like even if he like, even if it's not forceful, even if he counters this, okay, he's gonna Snapcaster for what? Brainstorm. Okay. All right. Well, we know why he forced Ground Seal now. That's fine. Docker. Well, if he Force of Wills, he is literally just in top-down mode with a Snapcaster, so like, if I start drawing threats, which I haven't thus far, I'll be pretty safe. I mean, he will be able to set up a draw theoretically with Brainstorm, but this is now like blind cards off the top. Okay. I have got to stop drawing lands here. That's 3, 6, 7 of my lands. There's 13 left and 48 cards. It's a little bit over 25%. And I do get a draw with Confinement because he tapped out for Jace, so we know Argothian's going to see another turn, which is fine. Like, he needs to draw cards, but I don't care about this. But I need to draw cards too. I guess I'll leave with the seal. Oh my god, would you stop it, deck? Well, Confinement means he can't really honor me. I might actually like keep it up if he passes with black mana open so that he can't edict me. I lose a forest, but I gotta keep my Enchantress another turn. I guess actually Engineering Plague is a card that is worth sealing. Hope he doesn't play it now that I jinxed it. Toxic Deluge. Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. But if I draw a threat, which I'm due for, I'm 15 cards in, and I've drawn 1 Enchantress effect, and I've got 11 plus 4 wishes, 15 plus Doomwake, plus well, Replenish isn't good here, so that's a third of the deck. No, plus Mirror's Guile. Abundant Growth with Cycle. I mean, I've got a lot of outs. I'm really due to hit one. So now I obviously let this die. Threat. Like, any threat. Oh my god. 3, 4, 5, 6. Mana. I think maybe I stop making land drops here, so like I can save enchantments for like through Hymn to Turok. It's kind of obnoxious. Like I've drawn so few threats. I think I do want that though. You hitting my solitaire? Oh no, sorry, Argothian. Okay, sure. It's like not as bad if they hit the Argothian because you've only got the 3. Like your Green Sun Zeniths can still get Eidolon, especially when you've got this much mana. I think this might be over. Like, I just drew so much fucking mana. I drew 1 threat out of 16 cards. More than that. Okay. No, not more than that. That's just a surgical. Sure. That's okay. Occasionally I get one. Did he leave my card on top? No. Yeah, I'm not sure I yield yet though, because like all his answers are really situational. Like, so my top decks are pretty good. Like, okay, well I got card advantage off of it, I guess. 3. Can I? Did I make my land drop? No, but okay, I don't think it was right to either. So I can't pay for that. Okay. He's losing so much card advantage. If I could stop drawing lands, it might matter. Like, he just spent another 3 cards getting rid of one of mine. Like, if it weren't for the fact that, like, I keep drawing lands, I think I'd have gotten this one despite the Jace. Like, I have another turn, I guess, to draw another threat. Like, obviously he has shit in hand, or he would have just, like, force of willed it. Yeah, I think I still hold on to hit cards, because if he doesn't have a him this turn and I draw another land, I can still try to protect my enchantment. Like, it is important to have an enchantment. So that, like, if I live in which Fernargothian, he's not getting card advantage off his Jace. If it's a fetch, though, I have to play it, because, like, it's a way out of the Jace lock. Yeah, it's a fetch. Okay, so I have to play that. Even keeping, like, 1 extra card, though, is okay, because it means Kolaghan's Command can't make you get rid of, you know, if you're in just top deck mode, they can Kolaghan's Command you during your draw step. Well, that's annoying, but I mean, so that's the downside, is like you are like setting them up for a him, whereas if you had 1 card, you know. But you know, okay. Let's see, I can top deck an Eidolon. Doomwake might not be bad, but I already have the black mana. But I don't think there's a downside to getting it by a... Well, I play that. I don't think you can deal with that once it's resolved. And Grixis. Like, obviously, Sultai has Abrupt Decay. I still need to, like, draw something to answer the Jace. Replenish would be... If I draw it into it, I don't want to draw the Replenish immediately. Play a Doomwake Giant, and then he has to either, like, answer it or bounce it with Jace. And it kills his little owl buddies. Okay, well, that'll do it. I mean, he probably has a counter at this point, right? But, like, obviously you cast it anyway. Alright, well, that's a good top deck. So, draw into another enchantment off this presence, or draw 1 for my turn, and I'm okay. Yeah. Alright. Snapcaster Force of Will? Yeah. Check. That's good. Oh man, I'm savage. Fucking take that. Yeah. And just like that, the tables turn. Like, so he's got a board of threats. They're going to take me down to 10. He's in top deck mode. Like, I could just wish for Doom Mike next turn. I don't necessarily want him to hem away my cards, though. Like, I'd like to keep one of these, preferably the wish. And I don't think I need the land drop, so, just like that, the table's fucking turned. I think he was honestly too aggressive with the Jace. Like, you should get card advantage first, and then, like, once you've got, like, the game on lock, then you start Fate Stealing. Sure. More things for Doom Mike to eat. That's fine. And look at that gas. And away we go. I can actually just Emrakul this turn with double Sanctum, right? What's this step for? Right. He's got one card in hand. Alright, well, let's see if it's a Force of Will. Yeah, just Emrakul here, man. I guess. No, I mean, like, he could, like, sack lands and block with the Strix. I don't really care. I still have the game on lock, so, like, and I get my Emrakul back. Unless he has a Surgical in hand. I could, what I was thinking is, like, if I do Mike, though, and he does have a counter, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna keep going off this turn anyway. Alright. Well, we bailed that one out. I mean, we were probably going to win game 3 anyway, but, like, game 2, like, you saw, like, we just, like, land flooded, and we were still able to bail out because, like, their Disruption Suite is so, like, even though Hand to Truck is really good against you, like, you can just top deck your way out of it, and they can't deal with a Resolve Presence. Like, he's Surgical the Argothian, but in a way, like, it's better that he had, like, the Disruption for the early Argothian, because, like, they have lots of answers to Argothian, but, like, no real way of dealing with, like, I guess they have an Engineered Explosives maybe one or two, but, like, I think that's it in terms of dealing with the Resolve Presence. And then, like, you know, once you start drawing, you know, and I do think he was making a mistake by being so, like, aggressive with the Jace. Like, sure, it puts me on a fast clock, but he doesn't have the answers in hand. Whereas, like, if he's, like, building up his answers, he can just take his time a little bit more. Like, you know, so we're on a good start. Let's hope we keep getting favorable pairings and decent hands. I haven't got to test Heliod yet, even though we were up against a control deck, but like because we weren't sure, I don't think there was an opportunity to look into it. Like in fairness, I guess we wouldn't have used Kamal either yet. But there you go. I did like playing against some like Miracles and stuff recently. I was finding that like when I did try cutting Kamal, like you actually like, you know, if you look at our wish board, like after Argothian, Doomwake, and Doomwake's only like situationally really good against Miracles. It's not necessarily great. You don't have like too many things. Like Wicked Welder can be good. Like Gaddock is terrible game 1 because he's just gonna eat a Swords to Plowshares. Game 2 when they like have hopefully boarded them out, he's good. But you don't necessarily have that much muscle, so I think you do need a card that like acts as a threat on its own, rather than just like answers, like Revoker or Grixis or like Rexage, Aegis of the Gods. Those are all like answer cards. Like being able to wish for threats is also important. So yeah, I would like to try him out. Hopefully we get a match where he's relevant. Okay, let's try doing that again. Sometimes I think it gets like stuck somehow. So yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a pretty good metagame for Enchantress when you look at it. Like, Miracles is a good matchup, Death and Taxes is a good matchup, Canadian's a good matchup, Stink and Show's 50-50, Lands is a very good matchup, Ad Nauseum's a bad matchup, Stoneblade is a good matchup, Grixis Delver is a very good matchup, Four Colored Loam is a good matchup, Grixis Control is a very good matchup, Eldrazi Stompy is kind of like, it's about 50-50, it's like slightly favored for you, I think. BO Reanimator is a terrible, terrible matchup. But then, like, yeah, you get, like, Storm. Okay, it's another bad matchup. Infect is, I think, slightly bad for you. It's not, like, as bad, I think. Like, Storm combo, I think it's probably, like, 35 to 40%. Infect's, like, 40 to 45, I think. Yeah, Reanimator's, like, 20% or less. Stoneblade is good. Oh, man. So, if we go turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, they don't have Chalice. This is pretty dead to Chalice, unless we just draw another land, then we go Gothian. If they don't have a turn 1 Chalice, we go Utopia Sprawl, then like if we don't draw, we have 2 cards to draw a land. Just naturally, so like statistically that's more likely than not. If we don't, we can still our Gothian and Guile. I think maybe if we don't draw a land off the top, we actually go turn 1 Guile. Oh, he's got a turn 1 Chalice. Oh no, Walking Ballista, okay. That's alright. Given that he did that though, man, I think the Sprawl might be more important than the Guile. Both are important. No, I need to hit my land drops. I can, if he doesn't, I think if he had the Chalice, he would have just cast it, like, obviously, right? So, like, if he top decks it, he top decks it, but otherwise I can Sprawl next turn, assuming there's a land somewhere in the top 3. Oh, okay. Let's see. 12 post. So 12 post is rough. It's a little bit of a race. Like, I'm not sure how fast this hand is. Depends on what's on the top 3. Otherwise, hand seems pretty weak, to be honest. Like, fuck me. Are you kidding me? Alright, I guess we go green. That way we can touch next turn. Hopefully the next card is a land. I think you have to go green. Fuck me, man. It's 4 cards. The odds are very high that you'd hit a land. Any thought outseers? I almost don't care. Like, my cards are pretty expendable here. But that does put me on a real clock. Like, the ballistas weren't a real clock. Actually, maybe I was right to get the Zenith. Because if the third one, instead of the Guy's Touch, because if the third one is a land, then I still want to shuffle away the other 2 non-land cards, because I really need to make my drops here. If the land is a Sanctum, it would be alright. Like, Sanctum might like get me back in the game, because I can Presence and then Grass. Let the Grass die. Next turn, like, Banishing Light. Well, Banishing Light might be what he takes. We'll see. What did he... Argothian, that makes sense. Well, that's what I would have gotten. To be honest. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Well, deck bailing me out. I get Banishing Light. Like, if he's got another Thought-Knot Seer, I don't want to lose my Banishing Light. And I've got a Green Sun Zenith on top, like, if he gets my presence. And then, like, next turn, Sanctum taps for even more. So maybe this way I also get rid of, like, any real pressure he has. He's still down to just the Ballistas. Unless he's got, like, a Reality Smasher in hand. Yeah. That way I'm also a card deeper anyway, so I can, hopefully it's not a Reality Smasher. Okay, it's an Thought-Knot Seer. That's fine. I like all these cards are expendable. I guess Grass is the one I want the most. Actually. If he takes the Grass, and I have a land somewhere in the top two, or the two cards that I just saw, like, so there's a Green Sun Zenith and two new cards, I mean. Okay, he had a presence. That's actually good. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's better than the Grass, I think, actually. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to Presence, Grass, I guess then Seal. I'll have enough for that, right? That's 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, yeah. So that just goes on the bottom. It doesn't, that order doesn't matter. Actually, if I got Forest, I guess I could have touched as well. But I'm not sure I just want to blow the touch yet. I mean, if he has a land, he can still attack with all three. Is it worth sealing? No, because he could, like, draw a Chalice at any time, and I'm still worried about that card. Or, like, a Golem token or Construct token or whatever the fuck it's called. Alright. Well, I don't think the Cloud Post gives him more mana than the Grim Monolith, right? I can destroy the Grim Monolith. So he can have a... Sorry, did... Yeah, okay, just had another Cloud Post. Well, no, I definitely didn't want him to have the Cloud Post, but now, like, all this big stuff is online. So for a while I was running Painter Servant, but it wouldn't have done much against this. Like, it was supposed to be, like, anti-Eldrazi, and it was alright, but, like, it doesn't stop the Cloud Post openings, it only stops, like, Eldrazi Temple and, Ayabugan. I kind of need to go off soon. He didn't read the card. A lot of people don't read Elephant Grass, which is always amusing to me. Always stack your, alright, nice. Do I cast out the Thought-Knot Seer, or save it for something, or hit the Karn? I think maybe I hit the Karn. I don't want him drawing, like, his really scary stuff, like all this dust. Especially since he forgot to, like, leave mana to attack and stuff. Let's see. So I definitely want the cast out, but I also actually want all three of these, but I also want a Green Sun Zenith. I guess I would always start with the Wild Growth, then Gaia's Touch, then cast out. So no, it's just 6 damage. think I can afford a turn, and I need to go off, like I said before, he like really gets big. What am I getting out of this? If I still have 6 left, that's plenty. Wait, no, yeah, that's right. Cast X equals 2. Yeah. Goes in. Yeah, I need to get rid of the Karn so that he can't draw into wacky shit. Like he could at least like play the get that other cloud post, which I don't like. That's like the least threatening thing. I need to get rid of Karn. Alright, I think with Forest in Hand and Guy's Touch and all that, I think I could, depending, if I have some more gas on top, I'm in a good position to maybe go off next turn. With this Karn gone, hopefully that slows him down enough that he can't, like, all his dust or Ugin. Okay, I mean, that's a good sign. Like, if he has to spend mana on another Karn, I don't see how he can, like, Ulamog, for instance, this turn. You can have, I give you the Glimmer Post. What does that give you? That gives you 1 more mana. But, yeah, I don't want you to have the Ulamog. I mean, you can get it next turn anyway. And I'm out of Overgreen effects. So I think I need to go off, right? Because that taps for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I can cast the Ulamog next turn. Which would get him back. I thought that wouldn't kill me. I'd have another turn. So, like, if I don't overload on the same land, I'd probably survive it. And, like, especially if I draw another Sanctum to have him back up. 6 damage is fine. But I do need to have a gassy turn here. Grim Monolith. So do I destroy the Grim Monolith? I probably do, right? Especially since I have Replenish and Guy's Touch. And an Elephant Grass. Abundant Growth is kinda gassy. It's not as good as I wanted, especially with 2 more lands. But that's more what we were talking about. Okay, Confinement is good. I already used this, right? So sack it. Let's see. If I do this, I Eidolon, I'll have 1 mana left. That's still enough to replenish. Put a Force and Fight with Guy's Touch, and I have my Sanctum open. Right? And that way I'll draw cards off the replenish. What's he gonna do here? Okay. Yeah, okay. So I can kill the Eidolon. Maybe I want him to do that now so that I can replenish it. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. So I got white. I guess these don't matter. Replenish. What are we at with Sanctum? 15, 16, 17? That's enough, right? 15, 16, 17. Yeah, alright. Right. I used all my wild growths. If I tap this, I can't draw another wild growth to put on the Sanctum. I guess I can just play Abundant Growth and maybe draw the other Gaia's Touch. I think I got it though, actually, right? So maybe I just do it. Just do it. I just want to make sure I didn't miscount. It's 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so living much here. I forgot to seal the monolith before I replenished. Oh well. Okay. So I mean, we had kind of a slow start, but so did he. And he never drew Chalice, so that's a big difference. So I am worried about Ugin and all his dust, so Gedekti comes in. Like against Stompy, they only play like all his dust and not Ugin. So I think he's fine as a wish target there, but here they're more likely to have things that I like really can't allow to happen. I mean, he can be walking ballisted, but that's okay. They'd probably like bring one out at least because it's not very good against me. Wicker Bow as a GSC target. Like, you can also like trade with Thought Knots here. And if you want Rexage, because like if he goes turn 1 Chalice, you can like turn 2 Wish, turn 3 Sage if curve's better. Seal Primordial Malice needs to come in. I think Grass is not good here. Like, it was mediocre against that start, and like I think he's probably going to bring out some ballistas. Like, it's just really situational. Mirror's Guile, especially on the draw, like it's just another thing to get countered by Chalice, and like it's something that like doesn't do anything if it doesn't resolve. You leave Replenish in for Chalice hands, like so you can like build up to a big Replenish. Zumike's actually it's okay against Eldrazi Stompy. I don't know about against big Eldrazi. It's probably not as good. So my primary wish targets, I guess, are like sometimes Revoker or Sage. Like sometimes Aegis is okay because it stops Thought Knot Seer and Star of Temptation, but it's obviously not amazing. Yeah, I guess it's just Revoker and Rex Sage mostly. I think Grass is probably still worse than Doomwake, though. What do you think? I don't know. I guess Grass Cycle's easier. And, like, except for, like, that particular... Well, if he has, like, a Karn-driven hand, maybe Doomwake is relevant. I don't know. Ground Seal doesn't do anything, but it does resolve under a Chalice for 1, which is actually something. Because, like, a situation you can get into against Chalice is, like, you still draw cards off your Enchantress, but if you can't get them to stick, then your, like, Sanctum can't generate mana. Okay, so man, this is such a, like, Chalice weak hand. Like, I need to draw a land. I've got 2 cards to do it. If he Chalices for 1, I don't really need to draw a land. I can still, like, play Seal and Touch and the other Wild Growth. What I like about it is it's got Seal, and then like I can replenish the Seal and the Touch, And then it's got Enchantress if I draw another land. It's another risky hand, especially since we know he's on Chalice. He did mulligan to 6, but sometimes that means they're digging for the turn 1 Chalice. But like Cloudpost actually does that less reliably, I think, because like it's like a trade-off of playing all these like Glimmer Posts and Cloudposts and like presumably Vesuva, like maybe even Thespian Stage. No, he's got it. Oh, fuck me. Oh no, okay. Well, actually, I could still be. No, okay. That's still a scary start, but at least I can. It'd be tempting to get white while I can, but I need the green for touch, and then like if I like, I can like just load up this land, which like isn't necessarily advisable if he gets like a Kozilek. All right. He's probably gonna take the seal. Maybe he's gonna take the Enchantress. Yeah, okay. And then I seal his land. Maybe I abundant growth first, and then hope to draw land. Okay, that's not a land. Then I actually don't need the Utopia Sprawl anymore. Alright. Load up this land. That's her action. Maybe I should have just killed the monolith again. I don't know. Like, you get all this dust here. And, set me back. Set me back considerably. But, I mean, might be able to do it, like, next turn anyway. Like, this is a pretty savage start. Of course, he hits the lands. Actually, only hits one. So maybe he did me a favor. That's a lot of threats I just lost, though. This would have all been pretty decent draws. That's a really fast start. This game's over. I think. God almighty. Let's see. Oh man, that force actually means that he can, like, attack better. It's like Ivogan can't pay for Elephant Grass. Well, I think I need to, buy a little bit of time. I can't attack with all three, right? I don't know what my out is here. Confinement. Oh, I didn't bring in the second confinement. I had him on big Eldrazi, and this is much more of an Eldrazi Stompy start, although, I mean, it's, like, sort of big. I don't know. Like, the Stompy decks can be a little bit hard to prepare for that way, because, like, they can either like go, like, prison. I guess so he's, like, sort of, like, on Eldrazi Stompy with, like, a splash of big. So maybe, like, Gaddock comes out, like, because he's less likely to actually run, like, Ugin. And probably just has, like, he still has all his list, I'm sure, but, like, you know, you can still wish for Gaddock there. I don't know. Oh wait, I need, what? Alright, well, that is game. Alright, well, I had a very fast start. I did not. Should I bring in confinement? I guess I should if he's like on a deck that's a lot more like Stompy than like actual big Eldrazi that can go out for the Teague. And then maybe the grass does go to 3. Although I kind of like having Spore Frog there because like if I need Spore Frog, I can't wish for it against Chalice in 1, but like I can still grant some Zenith for it. So maybe that replaces Ground Seal. Obviously, it still sucks if I draw it and he has Chalice for 1, but the odds are against that. Well, I have to mulligan this really weird hand. Okay. I guess I keep this. Like, I've got to turn 3 Doomwake. His way of killing it would be Thought, not Seer, so, I don't think Replenish does anything here. So I do need to say black. Like, if he has Chalice for 1, that's gonna suck. But I can, if he doesn't, I can still play the growth next turn. Okay. Do I? I think I do get Argothian here. Like, if I draw a land, I can cast the Doomwake Giant. If I don't, I can start setting up my engine, even if he does get a Chalice here. Okay, I'm almost into what? Okay. Yeah, so I'll just Argothian, start drawing cards. We got white online, I guess. That's alright. Alright, so let's see what his turn is like. He's got a lot of mana. If he has all his dust, I'm in trouble. He can cast it for sure. If you guys thought not seeing, I'm okay with that. Like, I lose my Doomwake probably. But I still have gas in hand. I want to draw into something that destroys Grim Monolith, I think, because then I shut off all his dust. Although he would have dusted this turn, right? He would dust before he thought not seer, especially if I only have 2 cards in hand. But I also don't want him to, like, top deck it. Sure. Normally I wouldn't necessarily say to load this much, but I might want to draw a Sanctum. So I don't want to use my land drop yet. I'm going to use that and leave a green open in case I draw another growth. So I could Vanishing Light his Thought Knots here to try to get a card off of it. Then as all his dust gets even better. I'm not that worried about taking the 4 damage. I think it's greedy to try to draw the card. Like, I don't need the card right now. I just want to shut off his ability to cast his big stuff right now. So I could sack, or I guess I could just hold on to the guy's touch and use my land drop here, and then, yeah, I'll just do that. Okay, so I think next turn I can definitely go off. I got rid of his, whatever, monolith of some kind, basalt monolith. Grim Monolith. Some kind of monolith. He can still all his dust here. Again, I think he would have done it last turn. If he goes sower, that's fine. Probably. Depends, I guess, on what he hits. What he hit? Sealed Primordium. I don't like that. And a grass and 2 lands. Well, the Windswept Heath doesn't do anything for him unless he draws Urborg. Sure. Okay, so he's got like more of a stompy hand, like I said. So like stompy hands, like although you can get fast starts like he had last game, I'm less scared of those than I am like the big Eldrazi hands where like he's just got inevitability on his side. I've got the confinement this turn, even if I don't finish going off, which I could very easily. With 3 Enchantresses and a Guy's Touch, I'm going to remember to use the Guy's Touch right away. Actually, leave the green floating in case I draw Wild Growth. Let's just lead off with that, because I know I want to do it anyway. Okay, well there's the Confine, or the Sanctum, rather. Okay, I think I can just go with this turn. Yeah, I can just go with this turn. I can actually like replenish for positive mana with Guy's Touch, but I'm not sure that's necessary. 12, 13, 14. I don't have a wish. I need to get my wish. Okay, yeah. Alright, well, so we made our money back. Beating Grixis Control, Canadian Threshold, and semi-big Eldrazi, I suppose we can call it. Eldrazi is pretty popular right now, and it can be hard to get a read on which list you're against. Like, and it changes like some things, like especially the value of Gaddock Teeg. Also changes the value of like the second confinement and whether it comes in. I mean, confinement's not that bad against the big ones either, because like you can win games against a an Ulamog or a Kozilek. What I keep saying, I think probably the wrong one. Which one is it? Ulamog. Okay, yeah. Against Ulamog, because it prevents the damage and it skips the draw step, so you don't have to necessarily lose to the library exiling. Like if you've got the gas to like go off next turn and like wish, which can happen. I mean, it's happened to me before, like because it is such a race. See who gets their mana biggest fastest. Which, like I was saying, like is a big part of why like the early chalice can be so annoying, because like you can't really get big mana. Like even though you can draw cards, like if they were playing some like slower grindy deck with chalice, it wouldn't be a big deal. But because you're like trying to race basically in terms of establishing mana, you can't do that through a chalice at 1. Like your sanctums don't get big, your growths don't stick. Like you can, it is a situation where like replenish gets better actually. Like assuming they don't just thoughts and Nazi right away, because like replenish can undo the damage. But yeah, it's still like rough to be against Chalice for 1 on turn 1. So okay, wait no, he's going first, right? I got a turn 1 Guile into a turn 2 Guy's Touch. Seems kind of weak to Stifle, kind of weak to Chalice at 1, and it doesn't have an Enchantress. It does have a Guile and a Grass and a Touch. Those are all good things, like that, because the touch could like make up for the fact that I don't have a turn 1 growth. It's a marginal hand. Volcanic Island, Ponder. I don't like that. That could be Storm combo, or it could be Sneak and Show. This isn't a great hand against Sneak and Show. Maybe it's Grixis Control. Or Delver. Bulk. In the old metagame, it was Underground Sea Ponder that was the most ambiguous opening. Now it's Volcanic Ponder. That's the most. Although, you know, apparently that the Grixis lists, Grixis Control lists aren't running in case he is on Canadian. I've got lots of fetches. Maybe it actually would have been better to go Catacombs. No, he's not going to have Surgical Semantic. What was I going to say? I forget what I was going to say. Oh yeah, apparently the Grixis Control decks aren't on Ponder, they're on Preordain. Which is interesting. I still don't know what the reasoning is for that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This looks a little like Storm combo, doesn't it? Or possibly Sneak and Show. Anybody else would have done something by now, I think. But maybe that's not true. Ugh, I do need the green sensitive. I think I need the shuffle too. So, like, I think I go. Oh, I don't have the force to accelerate the touch into a. So I take Zenith and shuffle. And man, he's probably got this if he's on like either Storm combo or Snake and Show. It's hard to imagine. And that's a lot of pondering. I only recently realized there's like a face in this art. I don't like that. Oh, Wasteland. I like seeing Wasteland. Wasteland means he's not on either Storm combo or Sneak and Show. What the fuck is he on? Is he on Delver? Why on earth would he not have played a threat by now? He didn't stifle any of my lands. So maybe, I don't know what he's on. Well, I'm already going to play the... What you going to do during my draw step? Got a surgical. I want the land that's on top, so I'm not going to. Or I mean, I want the card that's on top. So speaking of which, no, I still like, cause like if this resolves, I don't care as much about it, and if it doesn't resolve, I've got another one next turn. I want the mana open to play Abundant Growth. What is he playing, mate? He's just like sitting there pondering. They're just pondering like a handful of lands, or like what? What's going on? What's the deal? Maybe he is on like a Snake and Show running Wasteland to deal with like Caracas. Maybe that's what's going on. No, because he just killed the Savannah, so that's not true. Which is an interesting play, especially if he misses a land drop. So he must be on some like kind of like Delver list, and he just doesn't have like fuck all in hand for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. Like, he either has answers or threats. He hasn't answered anything, except for like Savannah. He hasn't played a threat. What is he doing? Alright, well, Sanctum is pretty gassy here. I like having Cast Out too. I kind of like Rowan Caracas if he's on Sneak and Show, and it's just like hard to read it. But I can draw the Caracas if I have the Cast Out in hand. Alright, well hopefully this Force of Will tells us something about what he pitches. No, he doesn't. It's just another Force of Will. What was he saving it for? Why didn't he counter the Zenith? Alright. Saving it for a special occasion, I guess. I've got the Abundant Growth and the Sanctum, so I'm not like worried about. And I've got I can be black mana if I need, and I think there's a Caracas on top, so I'm just gonna name green. I think I'm pretty covered for other colors. I know, so okay, yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but I do think he must be on Delver just because of the Wasteland. But it's hard to know whether he was on Grixis Delver or Canadian Threshold. Either way, Choke comes in. I think at least one Wish comes out. Like, if I put him on Delver, Wish is slow. And I think on the draw, Guile is slow. I want the Confinement, I think. Assuming he's on Delver. Still assuming he's on Delver. I want the Chokes. What do I cut the other one for? I think either way he's probably bringing in Surgical, so the Ground Seal can stay. I guess on the draw, a single touch can go. Like if he's Canadian, I would take out the Cast Out because of Stifle. But if he's on Grixis, it's not that bad. Well, it's still actually like, you still prefer like Confinements and Grass to targeted answers against like any Delver deck. Yeah, that can go, I guess. Well, but he could still be on like Sneak and Show, and it's just like a weird build with a weird draw, right? Is that possible? I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's probable. It's possible. I don't know. So I'll just leave the Chokes. Yeah, I'll just lose a single touch. Well, that touch isn't bad against Delver decks, so like, I mean, that's part of why I run it over Exploration, as if like against their slower hands, you can like turn 2 touch and set up for turn 3. That's like fairly, like if they keep a control heavy hand with like Dazes and Fluster Storms and Spell Pierces and shit, you can get around it a bit. So this hand like digs deep with double Abundant Growth, and it has a Wish, and it has a Confinement if I do find myself like behind the clock. I guess it's keepable. Like with the threat density, like basically like 15 Enchantresses, plus Doomwake Giant. Like if I dig 4 cards, I'm like statistically very likely to like see another Enchantress. So like the fact that my best Enchantress here is Living Wish is something I can live with, considering I'm gonna like make all my land drops, which is important. And I have Confinement, which can be important. I'm going to start off with the Growth. If I draw another Enchantress, I'll hold it. The second Growth, man. I wonder what the hell he's on. Like, really, what he's on. This still doesn't tell us. Brainstorm. It's anything. Tell us. Tell us what you're on. Is he on blue-red Delver? Well, then I'm very glad I brought in the second Confinement. Although it would be weird that he wasn't like casting any burn spells even. Right? Well, fuck it. I've got white and black mana. I don't want to get stifled. I don't know if he runs it. I could like save myself a life and put the Abundant Growth on the fetch land, but actually I think maybe I just no, Because right now I'm really dependent on that Living Wish. I don't want it to get dazed. Although I am on a clock. And I assume... Yeah, so like he set up his Delver to flip. Oh my god, keep trying lands. Alright, so next turn I wish. See if that resolves. Yeah, I guess the most probable thing is he was on blue-red Delver, and then like maybe he just had like, I don't know, like a hand of like Price of Progress, or like creature killing burn, or like burn that he was saving, I don't know. Okay, no, he's on Grixis. Okay. That's alright. I don't think the Grixis lists now are like very good. Like, they added that like artifact creature, like Bombat Courier or something. Hardly seems like a Deathrite Shaman to me. It does 1 damage. Sure, Cabal Therapy me. What you gonna name? Probably Enchantress's Presence, I'd wager. Well, joke's on you. I didn't draw any Enchantresses. Elephant Crest, okay. So that mean you got another threat, or what? It's not like he can Pyromancer this turn, so you can't really like do anything too busted with the therapy. I think though maybe I do. If I confinement for like 2 turns in a row, I can just Doomwake Giant. But I mean, if he's got the Force or even a Daze, I think I'll make him. I can do that next turn. Like he can only hit 1 card with the Flashback Therapy if he does have the Pyromancer. I'm just gonna keep making it so I can't get Wastelanded while I build to Doomwake Giant mana. He can Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm this. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but yeah, it is what it is. I need to start drawing non-lands, man. Did I draw? I drew another fucking land. Like, that's what on earth just happened? My hand was the worst, and he just conceded. What? I don't get it. I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands out of 13 cards. 12 cards, I guess. Right? Yeah, so that's 2/3 lands. And he conceded out of nowhere. Well, we're 4-0. Let's see if we can't get another 5-0 entry for the old Witch House. Yeah, it's August 3rd. So my one from early July is going to expire soon. Need to stay at 0.6% of the metagame or whatever it is with 2 results. It would have been higher for a while, except like I won a local like 24-man tourney, but like they didn't report it, so I didn't get the organizers. So like yeah, didn't get the glory from that. Oh well. I was running some weird cards on that list. Actually, you know what? I was running Quarantine Field in that list. And I don't think it was good because like Abrupt Decay was everywhere. But it's probably better now. Did I misspell Quarantine? How do you spell Quarantine? Yeah, it's probably better. It's better now that there's fewer Abrupt Decays running around, I think. That was the biggest problem with it. As another like Oblivion Ring effect. Like the fact that late game you can just get straight card advantage off of it is good. Okay, so we got a single Enchantress. A fair bit of acceleration here. I think even though you have the touch, so you kind of want to hold the forest, you also need the white. So it's a little shaky because I want Enchantress, but I think you can't like mulligan a turn 2 Enchantress plus like a Wild Growth to draw off of. Like, you know, you do have to trust in your draws somewhat with this deck. I mean, I guess that's true with every deck. Like, you know, if I don't draw another Enchantress and he has to answer, it's bad for me. But, like, you can't just, like, keep searching. You can actually lead with the Sanctum, because, like, you could be running Stifle, playing a Volcanic Island. And I'd rather get Wastelanded than Stifled, like, especially this early. Because, like, a Wasteland, he's still trading some of his tempo, whereas with Stifle, he's just getting it for free. Well, not for free, but, like, he doesn't lose a land drop. So he's got to force a will this, or let it go. Okay, lets it go. He could be on, you know, we obviously don't want him to be on, like, Show and Tell and just go, like, turn 2. We don't have anything in hand that would, like, be an adequate response. So we need to start digging. He could also still be on Storm, although Storm, like, you would expect them to be, like, optimizing at this point. Like, it can be hard to read when you're against Storm, but, like, they usually will either spend the first couple turns, like, a Duress is a big giveaway, but if not, then, like, they would still, like, generally be optimizing this early, because they run a lot of optimization spells now, and, they need to, like, set up a, you know, a specific sequence of cards. Like, I think I actually might want to beta Stifle just to, like, know what he's on. Like, or, you know, does that make sense? I think it does. I need to know what I'm playing against. Okay. Well, the bait didn't work. I guess I get black. I got plenty of white mana. So speaking of which, well, if he's on Storm, I got the Confinement. So I guess I'm most worried about, like, if he's on, if he's on Show and Tell. I don't have anything. I mean, oh, I got the Grixis. That's not true, so I don't have nothing. But I don't have, like, the ideal. Like, if he goes Omniscience off the Show and Tell, then I'm in trouble. It's okay if he wastelands the Bayou. Because then I gotta keep my Sanctum. Double Wild Growth on it might be a little much. So I don't know what he's on. But, like, I think Living Wish for Getic Teague might be right regardless. Like, if he's on, I can put the Wild Growth on the Bayou. If he's on Grixis, like, he will get, like, card advantage off of Wasteland, but, like, I drew cards, and then I know, like, he had a slow start, so I still think I win even if he does get card advantage off of it. If he's on anything else, I think I want the Getic Teague. Like, even if he's on, like, Grixis Control or something, like, Getic Teague still stops a fair number of his cards. And, like, then at least I know what I'm up against. I could try keeping around the Confinement. Well, let's see what his turn is like. And if he responds to Getic Teague. So, like, I mean, he has to, okay. So that's probably Miracles, right? Tundra? Tundra ain't combo. Tundra Volk, that says Miracles. Yeah, okay. Well, let me let the Confinement drop for sure, and we're in a very good spot. Like, he could Terminus here or Council's Judgment, but I'll get my Eidolon online. Well, if he has Council's Judgment and Force of Will, we could be in trouble. But he's also done a lot of digging here. So I'm, like, kind of setting him up for, like, he can get some, regain some of his card advantage losses here with a, Terminus, but I think this is over, actually. come to it. I don't see he gets back from like this much card advantage. Like if he's holding a Supreme Verdict, I don't give a shit. Like I'll have drawn a presence at some point. I do think I want to hold on to that Zenith. Yeah, I'll just make my land drop. Maybe I should be careful because, like, main deck he still has back to basics, although his lands are also, he doesn't exactly have the hand that's broken with back to basics. So I think I stop here because I can definitely rebuild with this hand if he does wipe the board. I've got Ground Seal still, Seal Primordium if he plays a counterbalance. If he's on something that's not Miracles, I don't know what else he could be on. He could be on like maybe like RIP Helm Control, but like he wouldn't be able to go off for another couple of turns, and I'd have the Seal of Primordium. What else could he be on? I guess he could be on like a Sneak and Show list that's running like a Splash of White for some reason, which I haven't seen, but that could exist. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. In a way, that's actually alright. Like, it's better than the Supreme Verdict because I can still, like, Green Sun Zenith. I've got a million mana, and I can Green Sun Zenith for the Eidolon, which you generally rather do to get the card draw. Like, you can Swords it, but whatever. I still get card advantage off it. So it's, like, mana neutral to pay for these, but, like, I don't care. I've got a Doomwake if he does, like, try to, like, spin into the Monastery Mentor plan, which like they can do. Like Monastery Mentor can like reverse like their role very, very quickly, but Doomwake Giant answers it. So like, and you know, he'd have to stop me from all my card run that I'm gonna do. And it's fine. You know what? I needed the black mana though, because my only enchantment right now that I want to cast is Doomwake Giant. Okay, there we go. Because I want to hold on to the Banishing Light. Like, if he goes like Teferi, Teferi can be really annoying. Jace. Okay, so hey, good news. We got to try out Heliod. Guy's Touches come out. Confinement comes out. You can definitely go to at least 3 grass. Seal of Primordium I think is fine at 1 against Miracles. Like, they have a few targets. They have Search for Escanta. They have Counterbalance, obviously. And they could bring in, like, Aethersworn Canonist. But, like, I think it's better to have, like, the Wickerbow Elder, because they can also, like, turn into a threat and attack. And, like I said, you can turn Green Sun Zenith, like, into, you know, it's not the greatest threat in the world, but, like, it can, like, create card advantage and attack Planeswalker. Chokes obviously come in. Gaddock should come in. What's the other card to cut? You could go to 2 grass. It depends. Like, so, like, it depends a little bit on their sideboard plan. Like, if he, like, I've had them, like, sideboard the aggro plan with, like, Gideons and shit, and, like, if I get a slow start and I'm down to just, like, 2 grasses and, like, a Doomwake Giant, like, cast out and stuff as a defense, like, that can actually be enough. Although with Heliod, maybe that's a better answer to, like, maybe that's also, like, somewhat of a defensive card if I've got the mana. Like, and Choke helps, but, like, if they're on the play, maybe you leave in 3 grass, but like if they're not on the aggro plan, it's kind of a dead card, is the danger. You can't really afford many dead cards here. I think I'll do the 2 and hope that he's not on like that he doesn't have too aggressive a start, because that would actually be like really good against my setup right now. Especially if I get like a slower start. Okay, well that's a solid hand. Obviously, double Enchantress, acceleration, grass. Like at worst, it cycles. It might be good to have if he's got the like I said, if he is going for a fast start. I think especially with Heliod, you want more white. Like, because it is double white to activate him. Not to cast him is relatively easy, but to activate him is double white. So the downside of Heliod taking the space of Kamal is obviously you can't Green Sun Zenith for him, you just have to draw into him. But like, you do, like, your goal against Miracles most of the time, like, is to increase your threat density. Again, unless they're going like the aggro plan, and then like sometimes that can backfire because like you might be too slow. But like, they probably shouldn't. It would probably be like unwise of them to do that, because like, even if I do get a fast start, even if they are going aggro and they don't have answers, like my deck can just do wackier stuff than theirs. Maybe it would be right to go for the presence there, because they don't have Spell Pierce open, but they could have Warrantor. So I think maybe you go for Wild Growth here. Like, you're losing a card draw, but they're already down to 3 cards, and I don't want to get Spell Pierced next turn. Like, and they don't have... Yeah, I mean, they could have Counterspell. I think I'll hold on to the Green Sun Zenith, because it still has more flexibility. And like, if he counterbalances next turn, like, Green Sun Zenith is nice against counterbalance, because you can set it for like, you know, like if you get a lot of mana, you can just like cast it for like 7, or like for 6, so therefore like it's 7, and counterbalance doesn't do anything against that. Let's just do it like this. So he's got to have the counter spell. He can't Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm it. Now he can't have the counter spell. He's got to have, well, Flusterstorm won't do anything because it's not Zenith. So he's got to either let it be, or I get card advantage off of it. Either way. So like, if he Force of Wills it, I get card advantage. If he disenchants it, he has to give me, I get priority first. So I'll cast Elephant Grass. I mean, like, it's not exactly card advantage, but it's digging, which is like what's important. Like digging into more threats. Okay, double Zenith is good. So that way I can like hold on to one for like a Wicked Bow or something. Could be bad if he's like on Surgical. Like most of the time they board in Surgical, like if he like counters that and then Surgical, so he'll actually get card advantage off of it. Unlike that guy we played a little while ago that like kept using like giving me 3-for-1s with his Surgicals. Alright, so he's just going to go for Jace, which is like reasonable for their part, like, and if they get to untap, they can be in a strong position, but it does mean I get a turn where like their only response is Force of Will, which is important. Because like the Force of Will will, like, it'll be annoying, but it will undo. Like, I care less about their Force of Wills than like Delver. Like, if like Delver starts with like pressure and then Force of Wills, it's one thing, but like, they're trying to like accrue card advantage here, so I can let this drop. Like, I was only going to keep it if he dropped a Mentor or something like that. I could Doomwake here and make him answer it, or else he Jaces. And if he has to answer it with Jace, he can't draw. And the thing about Green Sun Zenith is, like, I could get Eidolon. Either way, I'm using 5 mana. I'd have rather drawn like an enchantment, but I think maybe I want a Zenith first, because like I was saying, like if he Spell Pierces and or Flusterstorms, and then Surgicals. Like, I want to avoid that. Because I do have one in hand, and I don't want to give him, like, I want his Surgicals, like, they're annoying if they hit, but I want them to be card disadvantage at least. Alright, that's okay. And see, he lost his Flusterstorm, which, like, he would obviously have much rather been able to use there. I doubt he has Stifle, so I'm just going to hold on to this. And it can be useful to hold on to fetches against Jace. Because, like, if he tries to go for the aggressive Fate Sealing, you can, like, fetch away, like, a bad card he tries to stick you with by fetching. Alright. Okay, well, he's not going to do it. He's being smarter than the other guy, I think. He's trying to get the card advantage back before he starts Fate Sealing. Especially into a fetch land. It's the right call. But, like, at this point, like, it's still just a 4-mana Brainstorm. Sort of. Like, he got the initial one. And then, like, this is getting him +1 card, but he's -1 card from the Force of Will. And he's down, let's see, 2 Force of Wills and a Flusterstorm. He's still got his, like, all his counter spells and disenchants, one assumes. Why would you tap that way? Okay, counterbalance. Sure. So I could, like, get a Wicker Bow here. Depends on what I draw. Oh, that's nice. I like that. So it means, like, if he does disenchant my Enchantress, I think I go for the Doomwake, especially, like, since 2 of his Force of Wills are gone. I think, like, that and, like, maybe 1 Teferi are the only, like, 5-mana spells he's got. And it'll definitely get me, like, a card right off the bat anyway. And set up for replenish, I was going to say, like, even if it does get countered. Against UV, you, like, hold on to the land sometimes, but here, like, I want all my mana. As much mana as I can get. Well, that's all we can do. Our hand's okay, but, we got more threats. But, no gas to draw cards, which is a little annoying, like, so, like, we're not able to dig as deep. Which, like, sometimes you can, like, tell who's going to win this matchup by, like, just counting the cards left in deck. Like if there's a significant difference, it's probably going to go to the person with the fewest that's seen the most cards, you know? And he is getting a lead on us, despite our Enchantress. He did activate Jace, so, like, I can attack. See, did he leave Swords in? No? Okay. Snapcaster? Interesting. Into Brainstorm. Right. I'm still gonna get Eidolon. Because I need that card. Maybe, I was thinking maybe it would be right to, like, do it for 5, but I was thinking about Spell Pierce. I mean, for more. Okay. Well, that's 3 Force of Wills down, and a Spell Pierce, and a Flusterstorm. But my replenish is kind of shitty right now. But I do have a Giant and a Presence on the board. So, like, if I can draw an enchantment, or, like, a couple enchantments, and, like, an Abundant Growth would be great here. Even... yeah, the Ground Seal would be amazing, obviously. Another Presence would be amazing, obviously. Actually, kind of don't want to draw an Argothian. I would just, like, hold it in hand. What did he do? Okay, I guess. I don't know why that made such a weird noise. I don't understand the sound effects in this game, like the MTGO. It's like so dramatic and annoying, to be honest. You can't disenchant. Well, I mean, you could disenchant both of them, I guess. Targeting presence. Alright. Oh, they're just gonna shuffle it away with Jace. I don't think, like, I could shuffle to increase the odds of drawing. And that way, like, he also does put the Jace outside the range where I can just kill it with Doomwake. But he's not, at least that way he didn't get an extra card. It seems like, I mean, maybe he just hasn't drawn it, but like it does seem like he sided out his swords. Like I've had a few people recently not do that. Like if they see the Doomwake Giants maybe, or the Living Wish, they figure they should leave a couple in. That's debatable. I guess that's a potential like drawback to the, well, I don't even know if I'd call it a drawback to like the Living Wish build, because like those swords are situational answers, and they were going to be like different cards that, like, you know, like maybe a surgical or like another Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce or something. Like, alright, well, okay, that's annoying. I would like to stop drawing lands, please. 7 lands, that's still a lot, man. Alright. I want him to Terminus. Supreme Verdict, I wouldn't mind as much. It would at least let me get replenish or use Replenish. But I really need to start drawing threats. Like I can't, if I just keep drawing lands, I'm gonna lose. Like even though like we're in kind of a top deck mode. Like okay, that's annoying. So I really need to draw a threat here. Playing Wasteland. Why? Like I think yesterday I played against somebody, but it turned out to be like land still, so it like makes more sense for them to run Wasteland in my opinion. But like against alright, so we're in a dangerous situation, but they don't have many cards. Gal, I guess, is the best we're gonna do here. Yep, they don't have a Ponder on top. Alright. But like that Mentor can turn around pretty quick, so that's a little scary. If I use my fetch, I increase my threat density, because we know like a Doomwake and a Presence are on the bottom. But it leaves us open to Fate Seal, and I don't know if like increasing your threat, your chance slightly, and it also gets rid of a land, I guess, so maybe like it's not that small a difference. But like I've got the Guile actually, so like yeah, I'll save it for the Guile if I need a shuffle. Unless he destroys my Guile. I need to start worrying about my clock. I think this is going to go to game 3. Yeah, I mean, we just got, like, no gas to draw off of the Presence when we had it. We're really unfortunate, and then like just land it out. But they've only got 2 cards in the hand. Jesus Christ. Well, now we definitely fucking, I guess we'll just play the forest. I should have gotten the wild growth. That was dumb. Alright. That was really dumb. Should have gotten the wild growth. Yeah, sure. Does he have lethal next turn? I think so. Yeah, he definitely does. If not this turn. Just chaining Jaces. Yeah, he's just going for the kill. It's 10. Needs 2 more spells. He could do that. I guess not. So I got 1 turn. I don't know what could possibly bail me out. Helia? No, I don't have enough white mana. Doomwake. I mean, like, he's probably got a counter, but then I can replenish. Actually, that could bail me out. That could bail me out. And then, oh shit, I put that in the wrong order. God damn it. I should have put the Living Witch below the grass in case he, like, has a predict. I do have enough for both of these, I think, right? I want him to counterspell this. And then I'll replenish. Okay, he's not going to counterspell it. Is he going to do disenchant? Yeah, okay. Alright, well, don't have a force of will, my friend. Do not have a force of will. And they left at replenish. It actually kills the Mentor, too. Nice. Back in the game. And they left at replenish. And we're actually not in too bad a situation because he kept burning through his Jaces. So like that sort of negated the card advantage he was getting off of them because he was just Jacing, Brainstorm into Jace, Brainstorm, like, okay. You're really just playing a 4-mana Brainstorm at that point. Like, and I get it, he was trying to like just kill with the Mentor. But I'm not saying it was the wrong call. But alright. Got a wish. We can wish for another giant. Maybe it's right to do that. It might be better just to presence. Like if you had a Mentor, you'd have played it. I don't know. There's not too many other cards except like Council's Judgment that counterbalance would counter. And like my concern is that a Living Wish is easier for him to just counter and blind off the counterbalance or like set up with a Brainstorm. He has a lot more. I guess fuck it, might as well, right? He has a lot more 2-drops and 3-drops. He could have it either way. Okay, we're just counter. Snapcaster's a 2-turn clock. Yeah, actually, I could just like disenchant my Guile here. Oh, okay. Why? Do not have the mana? Okay, so I Living Wish for the Doomwag now. Hope he doesn't have like the Counterbalance Answer or another counter spell that kills the Snapcaster. Maybe I'm just like helplessly behind the 8-ball and I need to go to game 3. But, you know, maybe not. Yes. Ba, ba, ba. That was last Force of Will. Yeah, oh well. Alright, well now we're on the play, which makes a big difference because like counterspell and shit isn't as active. Like most of his answers are a little slow, except for Force of Will. So it didn't seem like he was on the aggro plan, and I'm on the play this time. But I don't know what other threats like Elfin Grass could become. Like I do want to have like Living Wish access to Rexage, just in case. I guess I could get Revoker. Like, it's not great to like have like lots of creatures that steal the Primordium. I still think it only hits like a couple things. I think like 1 plus Wicker Bow plus Rexage is sufficient. I think our list is fine right now. I also, it might have been good that like I drew both Elfin Grasses, because like maybe he's not gonna like try to go the aggro plan because he figures I'm still on like a full grass suite. We know that he runs Wasteland for some reason, so I guess we can't keep that. Alright, it'll do, I guess. I can get a buy with the Burning Catacombs. I still think I want more white mana with Heliod as a potential draw. They can have it. He's got Spell Pierce. I think I only run like 1 or 2. He could have it, but... Or he could just Brainstorm. Okay. He's got the Spell Pierce. And again, they run like 1 or 2, I think. They don't run a full suite. Yeah, they run 1. Okay. No. Yeah. Alright. Sure, buddy. Preordain. Let's see, put 1 card on the bottom. Then Drew say does. He hasn't stacked his deck yet. So I could wish for an Argothian. He could end a turn Brainstorm and stack. But I think you can't like play around like if they have it too much, like you need to go for it. Like, I don't want to give him another turn to draw Counterspell or Force of Will. Or like, you know, just time to find more answers. Like, and if he has a Council's Judgment, he has a Council's Judgment. Yeah. Most of their answers are pretty situational, so you need to like make them have it. Okay. Are we having like a repeat where we just like can't draw anything that actually cycles? Like now I'm like kind of walking into a Terminus or a Supreme Verdict. Alright, well that's good. So if he does Supreme Verdict or Terminus, or all Terminus isn't great. If he Supreme Verdicts or Council's Judgments, I've got the choke. I don't think he has the Force Will, obviously, because he let the Argothian resolve. What did he reveal? Correct. Okay. So I can stack his deck here. So maybe like don't leave the Argothian because it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't do anything if it's countered. Anyway, I don't want to walk into Terminus. Like he probably would put. I would probably put a 3 on top. I think that hits the most things in my deck that he cares about. So yeah, maybe we lead with the grass. See if that gets countered. Okay, he's gonna be coy about it and choose to not let me see. Do I have Banishing Light, maybe? I think I do. And then would I hit the Jace? I think I would hit the Jace. Because I think I do want the choke to resolve, so like, because I think this might get counterbalanced. Therefore, I want to hold on to the choke. And if I can get this out now, then I prevent him from actually getting card advantage off the Jace. I need to start playing faster, though. I mean, 9 minutes is like a fair bit, but alright, cool. What am I going to hit here? Oh wait, I can just attack the Jace. Attack the Jace, rather. Yeah, so I'll do that. My land drop. I'm still not going to play into a sweeper. So yeah, so this was a 4-mana brainstorm for him. Alright. That's fine. We're sort of expecting that. We're still alright. He lost his Jace. The counterbalance. Is he playing another Jace? That's fine. Because I'm going to choke. With that said, I do need to draw, like, hopefully an enchantment or another Enchantress. Like, I need to stop drawing lands. It can't be like last game where I just drew all lands when it matters in the mid-game. I don't care about grass. Okay, which is a good backup plan for next turn. Let's start with this. Okay, we did have a force. Alright. Now he could have a disenchant, but he's still going to lose some mana next turn. Not have mana open for a counter spell, and I can wish for something. I guess Argothian, should I draw an enchantment? Is what I would wish for. Wait, I already wished for an Argothian, didn't I? So I guess I wish for Revoker on Jace. It's not a great situation to be in. Well, if I draw a land, I can wish for Doomwake. Maybe I wish for Doomwake anyway. But I kind of want to get rid of Jace. Because then he just got the Mentor and not much land. He didn't shuffle with the Jace, right? No, he played an island. So he's stuck with what he's stuck with. Like, you would assume if it was I mean, it could be a Council's Judgment and he's gonna, like, kill the choke. I really wish I could get the Argothian here. I think if I shut off his Jace... Well, then we're both in top deck mode. He's got 3 lands and a Lotus Petal. And the 2 land cards on top he already knows. If he's got like a Terminus, he's got to kill his Mentor or Supreme Verdict. He could have a Council's Judgment or Disenchant. That would be like worst case scenario. I guess it was right to actually just... Well, I don't have any white targets that I would want. So I think I do go for the Phyrexian Revoker. It's an iffy play. Let's have another Force one. We need to draw another threat, which shouldn't be hard because like half the deck is threats. Okay, that's annoying. So we're gonna predict. Yeah, okay. Well, so I do lose the choke. That's not good. Hopefully I top deck an Enchantress. I am due for one, I think. Punish would be okay. Not amazing. Heliod would be not great right now. Gaddock's a little late to the party. Yeah, I mean, if it... I don't care as much about its wrath effects, so like Gaddock Teak isn't as relevant because of that. Like I don't care about its wrath effect because they'd also like kill Mentor. So maybe I just like use him as a blocker. Oh, he's got Caracas, right? Well, so we needed to not draw crap, but we drew crap instead. So I guess he could still maybe bail out if we get another Enchantress ASAP. Draw some cards. And he doesn't have another Force of Will in hand. But it's rough. Yeah, well, we drew shit this game. This is ridiculous. He got really lucky. Alright, it's over. By which I mean I mainly got unlucky. Like I don't know if his hand was that strong, but like my hand was shit. Oh well. It does happen. Alright, well let's see. We almost got the 5-0. Man, that's frustrating though. Like really crap draws. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, points. Death Burn. Is that worth anything? These cards seem not great. Hey, wait a minute. These cards are shit. Jesus Christ. Nothing Vortex. Is that worth anything? Death Burn. Is Death Burn worth anything? What? Which, that looks like a promo thing, doesn't it? Death Baron. That's like definitely a promo. But I don't see the oh, Death Baron is worth something. It's not showing me the, no, that one's not worth anything. Why? How could they be so different just based on the set? Like, well, I don't know, maybe it's worth something. Anyway, thanks for watching. So, yeah, I mean, the matchups were pretty good. We avoided Reanimator and Storm. Yeah, we had some rough beats in the last one. But you know, it does happen. You know, like Miracles is like 66 to like 70% in our favor, but like sometimes you just draw shit. It does. You can just lose to like your own deck like crapping on you. Well, thanks for watching. Signing off. You know what? I am really sad we never got to test Heliod on that last one. Oh well. Alright, thanks for watching.